there are many practices that can be done through energy, spine, somatics. And so today I'm going to be showing you one of the practices I like to do. This is a self practice for you can do it on yourself if you're experienced. Otherwise, obviously, you need someone to help you do it. But just to show you the energy of the spine and the work that can be done. So what you're going to be seeing is as I'm working through my spine, you will see that my body has reactions. Now, if you've perhaps seen somatic work or Kundalini activation or all of this, you're going to see my body reacts in these ways. And all it is I'm working on different parts of the spine specifically. And as the energy flows, it reacts. And you're going to see the reactions. You're not going to know the internal work that goes on. This is just so you can see visually what happens as the work happens. Okay, so let's get into it. So I work a lot with this, so you can. It's hard for me to speak doing this, but I can instantly go in, and my body instantly reacts. Ugh. Mm. Mm. Every now and then, you might see me looking at the camera. It's just to check that it's still working because I'm having problems with my camera at the moment. Might need to invest in a new one. I'm not actually moving my body here. I'm just allowing it to do its own thing. I'm concentrating on the spine and the energy. All the sounds and everything that are coming out, I'm just letting my body do what it wants to do. Oh. Obviously, I'm still here. I'm in complete control. I'm completely awake. I'm just allowing myself. Oh. Just allowing the energy the dance the body naturally wishes to do, to open, to free itself. Mm. You might find sometimes there are some quite knee-jerk reactions. They tend to come just as you're moving to a different section. These don't necessarily, for some people, when you're working in these things initially, these can be deep emotional blocks and traumas, which can result in lots of crying and screaming and but then we still also have the more superficial stuff that we can work on all the time once those traumas are being released. A lot of my work, I'm sitting down with a computer, creating videos, talking to clients online, which sitting down a lot does put pressure on my body, on my spine. Also work out in the gym, I lift weights, which again can cause little things that just need tweaking and healing. And it's almost as though my body, by focusing on specific areas, it's almost as though my body, like the intelligence of the body takes over. Moves how it needs to move to release things. Again, I'm not focusing on doing any of this. I'm just focusing on different areas in the spine. They're very specific areas. Mm. There are people that could say, "Oh, you're just moving your body. It's all fake. It's all." Yeah. Fair enough. They can think that's not a problem. It just shows that they are not able to connect intimately with their own body. They are stuck in a program of they are their body rather than consciousness and body are not one and the same. The body is simply a vessel for the consciousness. Whilst you think you are your body, you won't have access to this until you learn to let go. So by people saying these things, all they're doing is showing they're stuck in the programming. Also, this isn't some deep spiritual Kundalini awakening thing. This is simply healing the physical and emotional body. Mm. Mm. Good to be done every now and then. Mm. Some people would say, "Oh, this looks like an exorcism or you're possessed." Well, you can hear me talking. I'm not. I'm just allowing my body freedom of movement. It's the body doing its own thing, almost like going to a chiropractor, a therapist. I say chiropractor as an example. It could be anyone who stretches and pulls and pushes your body. But it also works like a massage. We need these things to be free, worked out. The healthier the physical body and the emotional body, we cannot awaken until we have healed. There are many people who talk about, oh, I had a Kundalini awakening, and all they're doing is releasing trauma or fighting with their own ego, or therefore that's just not an awakening. That is just, the best way to say it is they've triggered a life crisis. And they got stuck in it. Because you cannot have an awakening whilst you're in need of healing. There's a false interpretation of any awakening or Kundalini awakening. Even Kundalini syndrome, that is not part of an awakening. That is energy driving you into a crisis, as in a life crisis, an egoic crisis, showing you how much work and healing you need to do before anything close can happen towards an awakening. To anyone who claims, oh, my bad experience of Kundalini awakening, no. Simply energy started to move and triggered a crisis because you weren't ready. Similar to what they will describe, but it's not an awakening. The name they give it is wrong. It is simply a crisis triggered by energy. Which can be triggered by quite a few things. By stress, by dopamine, by talking about midlife crisis. A simple realization that you're not living. Going and going and going, and eventually getting you to a point that you can't ignore it. Anxiety and depression, same thing. You keep working against yourself, doing things that are unhealthy for you, and eventually your body shuts down. Unless it's a hormone imbalance created by, obviously, pregnancy and things like that, which is just the body going wrong. But most depression and anxiety is stress and doing things that are unhealthy for you and your body shutting down, telling you to make a change. Until you change the route, nothing's going to change, is it? Ugh. Again, I'm just doing this and I'm talking as this is doing, just to show you that this isn't some trance, this isn't some possession, this isn't some nonsense crumpet that religious people love to bring up due to fear and the control that they've been taught to give up their power to others. Like the figure of Santa Claus sitting on a cloud, perhaps not wearing his red robes. Making decisions for you. Every decision that Santa Claus controls you. And all that religious nonsense. keeping you small. Ah, feels good. Ooh. Let's go a bit deeper to very specific areas now. Mm. Not about deep trance work. Simply a level of dissociation of the consciousness from the physical body. It's about realizing you're not your physical body. It is simply just a vessel, a temple. A piece of hardware that through use can get bugs, produce errors, and basically just sometimes needs defragmenting, as it were, to use computer language. And running a bit of antivirus and anti-phishing software. Mm. Yes. Mm. 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 Feels absolutely amazing. Of course, if you want to work with me to receive a session like this, it can be done online. Go to theawakenedenergy.com, book a private session. There are many different levels of work I do. I don't list them all on my website because it just confuses people. This is just spinal energy work. I also have courses and trainings to teach you different types of energy work. as I have right now, I'm offering just energy transmissions, weekly energy transmissions that you subscribe to monthly. Now, these sessions I should be charging at least, because if I compare this to what other people charge, at least comparing what they do to what I do, you might say, oh, that's egotistical. Speak to my students. At least 180 euros, 190, 200 US dollars. I'm literally charging 10 euros pre-tax, or 12 euros, including sales tax, $12, $14 a month for group sessions. It's literally less than a cup of coffee a week. I do this so you have no excuse to get into this. So everybody from everywhere on the planet can afford to do this. Not just people in the richest nations. Oh, this feels amazing. See you in another video. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy this for a while.